A very good evening. Thank you for joining us for the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News tonight. It's going to be a 30-minute bulletin long. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold Mogalu Muhammad right here on sign language. So without further ado, let's take a look at the headlines. And in our top stories tonight, Premier Nabanja warns district service commissioners on selling of jobs. 9 people die, several injured in Iganga morning accident. UPDF intensifies operations in Kasese following recent ADF attacks. And fluctuating prices frustrates tea farmers in Chenjojo. Thank you very much. Let's now get straight into the bulletin. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has warned district service commissioners against selling jobs to the unsuspecting members of the public. Nabanja made these remarks while presiding over the commissioning of Namosisi Catholic Parish in Jinja Diocese in Iganga District. We do beg your pardon, that's a story we'll bring later on. Now, General Wilson Badi, Chief of Defense Forces, has emphasized the importance of prioritizing the process of harmonizing military curricula and establishing foundations for trust-based alliances during his address to the leadership of the African Conference of Commandants. The CDF also presided over the ceremony where Uganda officially handed over the chairmanship to the state of Libya. Now, this aims to strengthen cooperation among African nations and foster mutual trust within the military alliances, as Ivan Kawa reports.
The chairman of the 17th African Conference of Commandants, Major General George Igumba, has officially handed over office to his successor, Brigadier General Nouri Ahmed of the state of Libya. Major General Igumba served in this capacity since November 2022, concluding his one-year tenure. Brigadier General Ahmed is now set to assume the position as the chairman for the 18th African Conference of Commandants.
I am pleased as I meet with the leaders of the African Commandant Staff Colleges after this event has become a meeting point to enrich all topics of interest to our African continent.
Under Major General Igumba's leadership, there was a significant enhancement in cooperation among commands and staff colleges. Member countries consistently fulfilled their subscription obligations, and the conference's web portal underwent substantial improvements.
And last but not least, hosting this 17th ACOCO in its totality.
One of the key resolutions from the 17th conference was the harmonization of curricula for African command and staff colleges.
Through ACOC and ensure common training for the African officers.
Major General Igumba urged his successor to emphasize the importance of adhering to subscription payments by member countries and to encourage the adoption of staff exchange programs.
She would provide required knowledge, training to keep students with the necessary skills and development to ensure the right attitudes for the desired professional standards.
And we will overcome all difficulties that might facing you before your presence to attend and participate effectively for the sake of our continent.
The Chief of Defense Forces, Wilson Mbadi, emphasized the escalating global instability, underscoring the need for strategic training of African troops. He noted that peace support operations often heavily rely on military forces and diplomatic resolutions.
As per our experience in Libya, in Somalia, and elsewhere, there is always the user primary need of creating peace first in most conflict situations, there is no peace to keep, there is no peace to support. You have to create it first. Like we went in Somalia, we have to fight first to create that peace you're trying to keep or to support.
General Mbadi advised that the emphasis should be put on harmonized curriculum, fostering alliances based on trust, integration, and pooling resources.
Even political federation of regional blocs for strategic security and defense. Because, and then investment in education, health, and agriculture. Because these ones will keep our boys busy. They create employment.
This marks the second occasion Uganda has hosted the African Conference of Commandants, with 18 member states represented by 3 delegates each. Ivan Kahwa and Dan Lugemwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Now, the presence of ADF has been a considerable impact on the dynamics of the local community, both in Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, due to escalated attacks and other acts of terror. Now, General Dick Olum says that despite some pockets of the ADF rebels, the Uganda's People's Defense Forces are committed to protect civilians and ensure stability. Details in this report.
In October, the ADF raided Kasese, killed 1 person, and burnt a trailer at Katojo Junction along Bwira Kinyamaseke Kasese Road, and tourists along Kasese Cattle Road in Queen Elizabeth National Park. This prompted deployment by the joint security agencies and operations along Kasese DRC border to hunt for perpetrators.
This time we have used a lot of intelligence means, intelligence network, whereby all the intelligence teams coordinated to ensure we track down these most notorious lieutenants of the ADF.
UPDF Marines, Special Forces Command, and Mountains Brigade, built on intelligence, deployed strategically at Kayanja landing site along Lake Edward. A boat carrying the suspected killers, perhaps fleeing back to DRC, were cornered with heavy fire from the joint security forces, an operation described as a success by General Dick Olum.
You remember very well that this group was hit on Lake Edward, between the Kayanja landing site and Katui Kabatoro. So in between there, that's where we hit them. So it's just part of the porous border. We share Lake Edward with Congo, so you definitely expect anything to happen between the 2 borders, especially on the waters and at night. Yeah.
The joint military operation is focused on protecting civilians, deny ADF food, water, and allow the return of the lasting peace in Rwenzori sub-region and eastern part of DRC.
You look at any person that you're not sure about, inform the security guys so that we get him and get to ask him. Yes, information sharing is crucial, both within the intelligence services, within the security services, and things work out very well. I think we've managed to do that with the help of the population. I think we have managed these people. People should be rest assured. People should do their business. And to the international tourists who come to Uganda, we think it is our role to give you all the security you need in Queen Elizabeth National Park and any other national parks. The UPDF, in conjunction with all the wildlife authorities, will endeavor to ensure security for all of you.
Currently, UPDF troops are doing their best within the framework of Operation Suja to end the sufferings of civilians from the atrocities committed by the ADF. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
The State House Anti-Corruption Unit, headed by Brigadier General Luchamuzi Moses, Special Task Force on Land Matters and Environment, has suspended all activities on the Scouts' land in Kazi. The commitment arrived at the land in question while the forest being cut down take over control of the area. Let's take a look at more details.
On the arrival at the land in Kazi, the eviction and cutting of trees was going on, and the workers took off after seeing the enforcement.
Where is your boss?
Here, the commission issues seized the machines used in cutting of the trees. The in charge of the place, Second Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth, could not explain the failure to protect the site, but instead secure those who were destroying it. He was seen making various phone calls and later said his boss, Lieutenant Colonel Mpanga, was on his way to the place.
Even a funded brigade IO is aware, is on the coming.
So brigade IO?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Colonel Mpanga. Lieutenant Colonel Mpanga.
Scout expressed anger over the destruction of their site, saying that this 120 acres of land was given to them by King Daudi Chwa of Buganda in 1924, who was also a scout. Also surprised that part of the land at the lake shores was filled with soil.
Katuboteme kibira kino tina okukitegera bulungi kuba kyemmanyiko batugamba kyabazukulu ba Dawudi Chwa balinako yiika 2 eyiika 10 ekiriwo mu batuwe ekyapa kyabasikawo ku 10 kati ebyonze badde sibimanyi bulungi ndiwulira nnaku zino nga we bitambula era ne tulipootinga n'abakulu wano babimanyi ettaka engeri gye ligenda mu kati bisigadde nze ebyangu okukuuma nkuumye emyaka 40
Kazi ekyapa kyalyo kitulagira ddala ntukoona mu kitoogo mu nnyanja naye ate ekitwewuunyisa n'ekitoogo bakisenze.
Right Major Sam Wanje ordered all these activities on the land to be stopped and called on NEMA to act immediately.
Order from above. Nyinyi yote mteremka wenye magari iko hapa.
Jamil Sempagala on the committee said they received complaints from the scouts and they also took action as a hate crime and stopped everything that was going on. It is not clear who is claiming the land, but part of the forest on the scout land has been cleared.
Uganda bannange nga nange nekubiriza abakulembeze bannaddiini bannabyabufuzi ensonga y'obutonde bw'ensi n'ettaka tugijjemu ebyobufuzi. Ekitundu ekisaliddwa kinene era n'obujulizi obubaddewo bumala nti embaawo zisaliddwa ate ne wansi mu ntobazi ziyibiddwamu ettaka. Kale tukubira bannansi bonna omulanga tukuume obutonde bw'ensi kubanga eggwanga lyaffe ffenna.
Jamil Sekaja and Benon Mukwaya for UBC.
And in more news, traffic flow and activities have been disrupted on the Kampala Road due to the ongoing rehabilitation on the road by Al Mubarak Company. Many business owners and residents in the area were sighted stranded due to the situation that kicked off today, the 4th of November 2023.
Business operators were seen stranded and travelers in vehicles and border-borders trying to find alternative paths following closure of the road due to rehabilitation works that kicked off today.
It has been worse. Border men are crying, taxis are crying. I have moved down there on shelves that don't have fuel. They are out of fuel and they cannot access. Yet we know the main use, how important is fuel. If
wakatwabelinga kusoya mukalitunsi moto kobeda zichukira nokuchikena mu DDs so ate zisoka kugenda mpaka eri kusoya so singa basose ne balabula abantu adde besotinga abayiteri wagulu ne bayiteri wagulu n'abayita eno wansi ne n'abantu bajja tebamanyi.
According to the residents and other road users, there were no prior alerts to the closure and they just woke up to signposts around Kabalagala police station indicating closure of the road.
But we are all unaware. As council, we are unaware. We have been in budget priorities framework. We have been asking for feeder roads. We have been asking for street lights. We have been asking the minor one. But we are seeing a big progress here.
Embeera mbi nnyo, embeera y'amakubo gonna bagafukudde liri eri awali mu maaso mu Junction eridde Munyonyo waliwo bridge nalyo mmotoka teziyita pozi n'ebuziga era nayo jjamu mungi nnyo kuba mpise buziga.
The residents have appealed to the authorities to ensure effective maintenance of feeder roads known to paralyze movements during situations as this.
Batubadde mu mbeera mbi. Abatukolera ekkubo kye twandisabye bandibadde nga balikolako oba mu budde bw'ekiro oba nga ku Sunday.
Too much concern because I had to move from my electorate area, my constituency to KIU because I had a patient that I was rushing to the hospital. But my car couldn't move for almost an hour and I had to get a border.
However, according to KCCA, alerts were issued to the community around the road under rehabilitation prior to the works. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Joseph Fomoyengo for UBC.
Now, police has confirmed the death of 9 people in a road accident that occurred towards midnight at the Masulita village, Mayuge district along Jinja-Iganga Highway. The accident involved a taxi registration number UBE 939H, which was from Kampala heading to Iganga and rammed into a stationary trailer registration number RAC 603Q that had earlier suffered a mechanical problem along the route.
In the wee hours of the morning, Iganga residents woke up to the sad news of an accident that claimed lives of 9 people and many others who were injured. The victims were traveling in a taxi from Kampala to Iganga and accidentally the car rammed into a stationary truck few meters away from Musita weighing scale. The driver reported to have not recognized the stationary trailer and there wasn't any sign to alert vehicles about the stationed truck. Upon hearing the news in the morning, several people flocked Iganga mortuary to identify the dead. The deceased were identified as Nangobi Philida, aged 35, a resident of Kaliro Town Council, and her 2 years baby Brenda Naigembe. Opio Moses, aged 37, who was residing in Kampala with a home in Laruwere Bujiri district. Mirembe Rachel, 35 years, a resident of Kaliro Town Council. Seruwaji Lukman, aged 23, a resident of Busei Central in Iganga, but also a born of Luwero Bombo, Wamkasa Zone, among others. The bodies are currently at Iganga General Hospital mortuary for post-mortem. 6 other people who were traveling in the same vehicle sustained serious head injuries and were rushed to Jinja Regional Referral Hospital for further treatment. Traffic police towed away the wreckage to Magamaga Police Post, Mayuge parking yard, as they await inspection by experts from the traffic police. The accident has caused an alarm from the community, especially taxi drivers, who say there should be a way broken down vehicles are towed to safer areas before causing accidents. The Busoga East Regional Police spokesperson Diana Nandaula says that available reports indicate that the taxi driver was overspeeding.
Our investigations indicate the cause of accident as overspeeding and the absence of warning signs on the broken down trailer that the taxi rammed into. Investigations into the accident are ongoing.
Quite unfortunate, and we do pray for, their souls to rest in peace and the families to be strengthened. The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomosi, has called on religious leaders in Kanungu district to spearhead the gospel of unity and development. Chris Baryomosi was attending a Sunday Mass at the Augustine Catholic Church in Rutenga, Sub-County, Kanungu district.
The Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomusi, flanked by the Kanungu District Woman Member of Parliament, has joined the Christians of St. Augustine in Utenga Sub-County, Kanungu District, for the 4th November 2023 Mass. It was from this church where Dr. Chris Baryomusi received the news of his appointment as minister.
And, he was very happy, he was excited. He would not believe, but since then has always loved to come to our church because he got blessings from that.
And this is where I originate, because my grandparents were in Chinaba, and then we shifted to a place called Rijeyo. And also the significance of this church that when I was appointed minister for the first time, I was seated in this church and attending Mass. So I have that memory and a nostalgic attachment to it.
During this same Mass, the church has mobilized funds for the parish development.
We made some bills of quantities. We want at least to raise 95 million to do the terrazzo floor for the church and do the construction of the perimeter wall around the police house.
You see the floor is yet to be completed. It also needs to be re-roofed and given a facelift, and that's why we came here to give it support.
In Togo, Minister Chris Baryomusi graced the local entrepreneurship support launch.
tukabanza twazaha nkoko twarugaha nkoko twazaha mbuzi
This is a community eradication project spearheaded by women.
The women are giving out goats and other important things to liberate their fellow women to get out of poverty. So this is a women's group that collects money regularly and then buys goats and other supplies and then supports other women.
The local concerns regarding infrastructure development in the area, Baryomusi offers commitment. Robert Nyango, UBC News, Kanungu District.
More than 2,000 people have benefited from a 4-day health camp hosted at Togo Children's Center in Kapeka Sub-County, Nakaseke District. Our reporter has the details.
The best things in life are free, so goes an old English age adage. When the target is to secure the health of the nation, it is then a better cause, as evidenced at Togo Children's Center.
What really triggered me is when the parents, they send their children here at school, they send them when they are sick. We ask them, why have you not gone to the hospital? And they said, Mom, Dad, they do not have money to take us to the hospital. So we sat down with our partners of Calvary Medical Center and Yak Africa, which I'm really too much involved. And I said, let us at least have a medical camp.
In Kapeka Sub-County and Nakaseke District, more than 2,000 people, mainly members of the community, benefited free health services.
In these last 4 days of the medical camp, we have seen over 2,000 people. We've been seeing at least 370 people each day. We've seen a lot of cases, we've seen a lot of surgical cases emerging, even though this is not a surgical camp, so those patients we've not been able to help.
Sawe kubaguze bakyala bannange mwenna mbakubiriza kyasi tugikozese kubanga ekituufu ddala kyetufunye wano buli kimu bakitukebera ku bwereere ate n'eddagala lyonna weeriri era bw'obozze n'abaana wakatobalekaayo kubanga babuvunaanyizibwa okujjanjabibwa. Twebaza nnyo dayirekita w'essomero ly'e Togo ebirungi byatukoledde okutuleetera abasawo.
The services included free dental and eye care and screening for ailments like diabetes, high blood pressure, with women benefiting from scan services.
We have worked on dental, we have screened people, we have treated people, given them medication for free, and it has really been a very successful medical camp. So we as Togo schools, we do not have a lot of money, but whatever the Lord has blessed us, we have decided to bless the community.
Togo Children's Center was opened in 2010 and is known for academic excellence and nurturing students who are taken in because they're abandoned, rejected, or orphaned.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
African Airline Association, in conjunction with Uganda Airlines, presents the 55th AFRA Annual General Assembly between the 19th and 21st November 2023 at Speak Resort Hotel, Munyonyo, in the heart of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. In attendance will be 500 high-profile African and global aviation leaders, 40 airline CEOs making strides to transform aviation for development. The 55th AFRA AGA is proudly powered by
Jovia. Ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumuko ki gy'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. Martha. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Moit Soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Moit Family Soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Moit. All day confidence.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bio Research Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call Call 0703 152 152 for deliveries. Remember, money grows on trees. Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenku Funyanzi Julius himself.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. We now delve into the world of business. Tea farmers in Chenjojo district are frustrated following fluctuating tea prices that has negatively affected their business. Tea prices have reduced from 600 shillings per kilogram of green leaf to 200 shillings, with a local farmer only getting 50 shillings. Details in this report.
Tea growing in Chenjojo and Kampala Road district has been one of the major revenue sources to the farmers due to high production in both districts. This has, however, become a dream following fluctuating tea prices.
As we speak now, it is 150 shillings, and the plucker takes 100 shillings, so the farmer remains with 50 shillings, which cannot even be enough for transportation.
Farmers say the cost of fertilizers and herbicides to maintain the tea gardens are very high compared to the tea harvests.
Cost of fertilizers is too high. Like a bag of NPK goes up to 230,000 in Kampala Road district, which is too much for the farmers as compared to the amount they get from the yields.
According to farmers, the low tea prices are also coupled with poor road network to transport their tea to the factories, leaving farmers in losses.
When it rains this time, it's a problem because of poor roads.
We are calling upon the government to actually assist the farmers on tea in our region to ensure that the tea price goes high so that our farmers can also develop and take off in development.
Some farmers are planning to uproot the tea for alternative crops that support their livelihoods.
Several farmers have started to cut down their tea to start planting maize and other crops because the tea has lost value tremendously. This is very absurd for the people of Chenjojo.
Sam Sechanzi, the Chenjojo District Production and Marketing Officer, attributes the low prices to war in Ukraine, which has affected the market, and poor quality of tea produced that affect the sales.
Because of the wars in Russia, wars in Ukraine, wars in Israel, all these wars have affected the consumption of tea, which means that even now the producers, the producers and the farmers who are producing the green leaf, they are also equally affected. But we
Gilbert Rubaihayo, the Chenjojo District Chairperson, advises farmers to instead prune the tea and interplant other crops than uprooting.
Let them be looking for other alternative sources of income than let the tea. Others, they can cut it into a lower level, making them only tree stumps, and they plant other crops. But when the market thrives, then automatically the tea will thrive again.
Farmers are now living on the mercy of God for tea prices to increase in the meantime to resurrect their tea business. Story compiled by Kabahinda Brigade for UBC News.
Yes, and thank you for being a part of the 8 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. With me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad in Sign Language. We must say good night and see you at 10. Otherwise, up next is the weekly business roundup. Please do stay tuned to get abreast of the top stories in business that happened this week.